Hi guys, welcome to this match preview. It's Northampton Town versus Doncaster Rovers this Saturday at the Sixfield Stadium. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview. If you're an existing subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for returning. If you're new to the channel and this video has brought you here, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any content. If you are new, this is the format that we go through match previews. We'll look at previous meetings between the two clubs, we'll look at the current form across all competitions, player focus, we'll look at a Doncaster Rovers player, and we'll look at the opponent, a quick overview of their history and a player to watch in my opinion, and then me and the family have got predictions league, so there'll be an update of that at the very end, and then my score prediction for the game to finish off. So on to previous meetings. Northampton and Donny have faced off 49 times in their history. The Rovers coming out on top on 21 of those occasions. Northampton taking the points in 18, and we shared the spoils on 10 separate occasions. Looking back at the last 5 games, it's been fairly tight, very even. Back in 2007 in League One at home, it was a 2-2 draw, and then the season after, again in 2007 away from home, a 2-0 defeat, and then in the return fixture we turned it around with a 2-0 win at home, and then in the 2017 season an away defeat 1-0, and then a home win for the Rovers 3-0. So away from home we don't look too good. At home against Northampton we look slightly better. Hopefully that isn't the pattern for Saturday as well. Fingers crossed, because we need some results. Current form, fairly similar. Doncaster over the last 5, 2 defeats, a draw and 2 wins. Northampton slightly better off with only 1 defeat, 3 wins and a draw. One of those wins on penalties in the Papa John's Trophy. So Northampton in slightly better form coming into this. And for Northampton, a solid start to the campaign after coming up via the playoffs last season. It sees them sat in 16th, 5 points away from the bottom 4 and only 7 points away from the top 6, so very tight early on in League One. And Northampton have shown that they can go toe to toe with the majority of teams in the division. Games being fairly tight, even the ones that they've lost in, it's only been by one or 2 goals. They've not really been shown up in any game, so a team to look out for and be wary of. They had a great result midweek against Fleetwood on Tuesday, a 1-0 win, and that just added to other good results since falling at the first hurdle in the FA Cup against Oxford City 2-1, I believe it was. But yeah, some good results after that defeat in the FA Cup, and that's kind of cemented their place in mid-table at the minute. And as I say, they've not been shown up by any teams, so they can obviously perform at this level and get results. So hopefully we can unlock them on Saturday. Donny, we had some positive results in the FA Cup, 2-1 at Carlisle. That takes us through to the 3rd round, where we will face Blackburn away from home. And a fantastic turnaround last week against Blackpool after being 2-0 down, coming out 3-2 winners. But the inconsistency returned for Doncaster as we fell to defeat against Hull. I'd have taken a draw at the start of that game, but the top of the table, we just didn't turn up, didn't show what we've shown previously against top teams, and we fell short on the night. But I think potentially teams have worked out the 4-2-3-1 that we work with and that we stick by. Maybe it's time for a change, or possibly just having a plan B, starting with 4-2-3-1 and potentially shifting it about as the game goes on. I don't like Okenabirhie up top on his own. He's very isolated. I don't think he's got the ability to hold it up and pull players in as much as other players have. So I think he does need that strike partner with him, and we'd see a very different Okenabirhie. But trusting Darren Moore, he's got a philosophy. Hopefully it starts to show its potential and starts to show some results once again. And as I say, trusting Darren Moore, but he's playing players out of position. I don't know if this is due to squad depth, the lack of it, a couple of injuries. Is it horses for courses? I'm not too sure. But for me, I think if the players were in the right position, a little mix-up of the formation, and we could start getting some really good results again, because we've got a team full of potential and full of quality, in my opinion, but just not showing enough creativity or enough sharpness up top. I think that's because we are playing that one lone striker who becomes very isolated in games, especially against teams like Hull, who've got a fantastic defence. But we've got a big period coming up for us, where I think there's seven games up to the new year, and for me the majority of those are winnable on paper, and I like to see 14 points from a possible 21 before the new year. It's a big ask, but I think looking at the teams, and if we've got aspirations of top 6, that's the sort of points tally we should, and points return we should be expecting up to the new year. We will see. Moving on to player focus, I have gone with Joe Lumley this week for the Rovers. He's an emergency loan goalkeeper from QPR, and he was at fault for the second goal against Hull. The ball's come, he's saved it, but lost control of it, and Eves is there just to tap it in. And that's the thing as a keeper. Feel sorry for the one mistake, and generally it's a goal. But looking at the highlights, he pulled off a number of fantastic saves to keep us in the game. And as an emergency loan, I think he's quite a decent keeper. But I do think in January we are desperate for that number one. We need to bring a keeper in on a permanent, and he should be our number one, unless Louis Jones is that man. And if he is, why do we need an emergency loan keeper? Stick Louis Jones in, give him the opportunity. If you don't think he's ready, then for me, January, the first signing should be a goalkeeper. If it was Joe Lumley, I wouldn't be too disheartened. I think he's a very good keeper. Just that one mistake cost us the game. Could have possibly done better with a free kick, but it was hit really well. But yeah, as a start to his Doncaster career, coming in on loan every single week as an emergency, he's doing alright. Not a bad keeper, so if he comes on a permanent in January, I'd be quite happy with that. Moving on to the opponent, Northampton Town. They were founded in 1897 and they're currently managed by Keith Curle. Got them promoted last season via the playoffs, and I like Keith Curle. I like his formation that he plays, generally 3-4-3, so he's got that option of pulling the wingers back and having 5-2-3, sorry. And then when they're attacking, they've got kind of an overload in the midfield and up top, so a counter-attacking team, and it's shown this season with the possession that they've had in most games. Less possession than the other team, but then they've come out with victories. I think that's because they're very good at soaking up pressure, being very difficult to break down, and then a quick counter-attack. So we've got to watch out for that on Saturday. A couple of recent honours: League 2 champions in 2015-16, League 2 runners-up a little earlier in 2005 and 2006, and then League 2 playoff winners last season with that 4-0 win over Exeter. Puts them into League 1 this season, where they're doing fairly well. And the player I've gone to watch, or I've gone for the one to watch for Northampton, is Sam Hoskins. There's not really any player who's a standout in terms of leading goal scorer or leading assists, but Sam Hoskins currently on 3 goals, 3 assists. Not the top scorer, but he is joint top on assists. And I think this guy has just got the ability to kind of create a goal. He's got the pace on those counter-attacks, so definitely one to watch. And he plays on the left, he plays on the right, so if we've got Cameron John at left back, he'll have a lot of work to do, or if it's Brad Halliday at right back, he too will have a lot of work to do, depending what side Sam is playing. Sometimes drifts inside as well, so he's a very fluid player and can play anywhere. So tough one for the Rovers defence to watch out for on Saturday. But I think if we prevent him from playing, we've got a good chance of coming away with something on the day. moving on to the predictions league table. So if you are new to this, me and the family predict every league score. If we get the scoreline spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome of the game right but not the scoreline, we get 1 point. And if we get it completely wrong, we get no points. Wednesday night, Hull, I went with a 2-2, so I get no points. And the family, they were all pretty confident and they all went with 2-1 Rovers wins, which means no change to the table. Chris is still top on 8 points. Max and Dad joint second on 5, and me holding up the rest at the bottom on 2. I need some correct results to get back into this, but my predictions have been shocking this year. And that leads me on to this prediction. I hope it's going to turn a corner. I'm going to get some predictions spot on. And we're going to start with this one, because looking at our away form at Northampton, a couple of defeats over recent years, it's not a place where we go and do well. But I've got something saying to me, be positive. We can win this game. It can kickstart us into the new year and into this busy period before the new year. I'm going with a 2-0 win to the Rovers. Hopefully it's a response from Wednesday night's performance and we show what we can do, and we're just too much for Northampton to cope with, and we'll come away with the 3 points. Hopefully. And this is where I'll leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, big thumbs up for us please. Comments in the section down below, let me know your thoughts on the upcoming game. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.